morning, y'all. It's Sandy Brantley. It's day 2 of Wake the Duck Up, the online conference. Y'all, I am your host, Sandy Brantley, also known as the Duck Wrangler, and I am your host. We are committed to helping you better prepare the next generation to launch successfully into adulthood. So if you have not joined us yet for this free conference, please join us right here, theduckwrangler.com/wakeup. You'll receive 2 emails. First one's just confirming your registration. Look for that second email. It will show you exactly where to go and how to join us to see all of our amazing speakers. All right, getting all of that out of the way, I want to talk to you and I want to address the elephant in the room today. Actually, I want to address the duck in the room, specifically the rubber duck. The question I get the most is, why ducks? Why rubber ducks? I mean, they're so cute, right? But why? Why have you chosen to use rubber ducks as your branding and as your book titles and your conference titles? And I want to address that today because if you hang with me, I'm going to bet that you will love rubber ducks as much as I do. Well, maybe not quite as much as I do, but you will love rubber ducks. And I will even, if you hang with me to the end, have you talking to them and having them help you solve your problems. How about that? Yep. All right, so let's get started. You know, rubber ducks, I think, are part of a lot of our history, right? Does this picture bring up any memories for anyone? Yes, it's Ernie in the bathtub with his rubber duck. And I know all of you are singing that song now, right? Rubber ducky. Yeah, I'm not going to go there. But the point is, rubber ducks, when you see them, they just kind of make you smile, right? They just make you smile because they bring back a sense of innocence, a sense of fun, a sense when life was a lot more simple than it is now, right? So, I mean, how can you not like rubber ducks? All right, that's not really what I wanted to talk to you about today, but you know, I do think that they are just a symbol for a lot of people of innocence, of fun, of simpler times. I'm going to tell you a little story. My family loves movies. We love movies. Everything from animated Disney features to rom-coms, romantic comedies, to sci-fi, to action adventure. We just love movies, and we've spent a lot of time watching movies together over the years, going to the movie theater. And our local movie theater has this crane game. You guys know the kind I'm talking about? They have the claw, and you move the claw around, pick up a toy, and drop it in the bucket, and you get that prize. Well, our local crane game has been filled with rubber ducks for years. It's still there, y'all. I suspect it's still there since we haven't been for a while. But the cool thing is, every time we would go to the movies, my husband, who is addicted to those games, by the way, would bring our kids over and let them play. Truth is, he would play too. And we would come home with rubber ducks. So somehow, along the way, it became a family tradition. And now, good morning, y'all. Glad you're back. Now it's become a family joke, right? So now every time the kids go to a movie or they go do something and they see a rubber duck, they bring me one home. So as this progressed and as I finished my book, thinking of a title, I wanted something that was a little lighthearted and a little bit funny. Right? Because when you talk about teenagers and helping them and dealing with struggles, sometimes it tends to be kind of a downer. Not gonna lie, I get that. So I really wanted it a little bit lighthearted. So I wanted a title that not only would be a little funny, a little lighthearted, but also remind me of my family every time I saw it. So Get the Duck Out of My Pond became a thing, right? Became a thing. So that's really where the title came from. But today, what I really want to tell you about and why rubber ducks have kind of become a really cool thing to me, the more I learn, the more I talk about it, y'all, hang tight. This is pretty cool. Now, many of you don't know this, but my undergrad degree from Stetson University, go Hats, is a Bachelor of Science in Computer Science. I know. You guys probably just fell flat on the floor, but it's true. And I spent 10 years in the field. Now, if you graduate with a computer science degree, the one skill you graduate with is knowing how to program, how to be a programmer. So my very first job, I was in systems enterprise management, which basically just meant that we were managing 180,000 PCs from a local, one central location. It was big technology back then. Yeah, I know I'm dating myself. But back then, we had to actually write code to install software on a PC across the country. I worked for a Fortune 50 company at the time. And, when you're a programmer, you sit and you write hundreds, if not thousands of lines of code every single day. And a lot of times when you start working and running your program, problems happen, right? Something just doesn't work quite the way you thought it would work. And you would get up and you would go to either a coworker or to your boss and you would say, hey, I got a problem and I just can't figure out what it is, right? And you would start talking through this problem with them, explaining it to them, giving them context. And 9 times out of 10, before you got to the end of your explanation, you would say, never mind, I got it. I figured it out. I think I know my problem. And you would go away. And then the next day would come along and you would do the same process. Different problem. You go and you talk it out with your coworker or your boss. 9 times out of 10, before you finish your description, a light bulb came on and you realized what your problem was. So the problem with that philosophy and that issue is that you are taking away productivity from the person you're talking to for no reason at all. Now, the myth goes that a boss got tired of all the programmers coming into his office all day long, telling their stories and coming up with their own solutions before they finished their explanation. So what he did was he went out and bought rubber ducks. And he gave them to all of his programmers. And when they came to him for a problem, he gave them one of these and said, have you talked to the duck? How weird is that, right? How weird is that? But the truth is, when you actually sit and talk about something and you put context around it to someone who's not in the middle of it all, a lot of times your brain will think through things that you overlooked, right? So rubber duck debugging became a thing. It is a real thing in the programming world, y'all. So when you go into a programmer's office, oftentimes you will find a rubber duck sitting on their desk to remind them that they can sit there and tell all the problem, work through it one step at a time, and talk to the duck. Here's what happens. Productivity went up because they weren't bothering other people, but they realized that they could solve their own problems, that it was inside them all the time, right? They just had to think about it a different way, right? So I say that's not just a programming thing, that's a life thing. Rubber duck debugging can be for us. It can be for problems we're facing, right? Sometimes you need that feedback from someone, but sometimes you just need to talk it out. And right now, where we are all isolating, maybe find yourself a rubber duck. Keep it on your desk. And I want it to make you smile, first of all, just like Ernie made us smile when we were children. And I want it to make you think, you know what, maybe I have a problem. Maybe I have a problem I need to talk through. Nothing wrong with talking out loud to your duck. We're all crazy anyway. No one's going to think any different of you. But talk to the duck. That's it, guys. The third thing I want you to remember, and this has to do with our teens, is that we are on a longer journey. We have to keep our focus on what our goal is. And our goal is to help our teens launch successfully into adulthood and to help our young adults, our students, launch successfully into adulthood. So I want you to think, when you get frustrated, when you feel like you can't handle anymore because you've dealt with the same people for the last 14 days and it looks like it'll be another 14 more, I want you to look at your duck and say, you know what? My goal is to get this duck out of my pond. Take a deep breath. and think, what can I do today that will help them get to the other side and be successful? That's it. That's it, guys. That's why I love rubber ducks so much. And, you know, I'm going to guess a lot of you are going to go out and buy these little things. But they are so cheap, y'all. They are so cheap. Buy them on Amazon. Get them wherever you want. I'm telling you, you guys are going to love rubber ducks as much as I do. It works. It works. And they're so cute. All right, guys. That's it. I'm going to start asking you guys, have you talked to the duck? And I hope you do. So that's why ducks. That's why I became the duck wrangler, and that is why my books and my conferences all circle around rubber ducks. Not to mention they're yellow, and that's my favorite color. So today, day 2, we have 3 amazing speakers coming in. 3 more, y'all. It's incredible. We're starting at 2 p.m. Eastern time because I don't do time change. So y'all are going to have to adjust that time zone to your own space. But at 2 o'clock, we're going to be talking to Yvonne Winehouse. She is going to talk to us about matching and moving with your students. It's an incredible technique that I think you're going to find will work not only now, but in the future. So make sure you stay tuned for that. Then at 4 p.m., we're going to be talking to Doug Fitzgerald. He's going to come in and talk to us about how to help your teens dealing with loss. Our teens, our young adults, both, our college students are dealing with loss right now, y'all. Did you hear me? I'm using y'all a lot lately. Anyway, they're dealing with a lot. They have lost everything from proms to sporting activities to musicals to social interaction to graduations. So he's going to come and talk to us with some ideas on how you can deal with that loss with your student. And then we're going to finish the day up, not last but not least, with Samantha Brantley. She is my daughter, and she is going to speak for our students. She's going to be talking to us about the truth about what your students are feeling because she's one of them. She is a senior at UCF. Go Knights! And she'll be talking about losing her graduation this year and all the other things that they have now lost because of this pandemic. So I want you guys to stay tuned. If you have not registered, free to be part of our conference, please do right here, theduckwrangler.com/wakeup. We would love to have you join us. And I know that you will find some nugget of wisdom that you can put into your daily life to help you get through the coronavirus, help your students get through this, and thrive on the other side. All right, you guys, stay tuned. We'll talk to you soon.